And beautiful community members, it is like old home week this week, seeing Susan Clark with the perfect songs that just touched my heart, and Lisa with that perfect reading, and Carol with that perfect prayer, and how everything is coalescing for this perfect time together. In fact, I'm very grateful that we are at home right now. So, welcome to La Casa de Johnson. And my kitty, Andalucia, is here to say hi to you as well. Very grateful to be joining you from home because the Johnson family is kicking this creeping crud to the curb right now. So, if we can all just know health and goodness for each other, and I know we're going to be back together in person as soon as humanly possible, but with great safety and love in mind as well. And the theme this month is reconnecting to awe and wonder, which honestly has been wonderful. I did not know how much I needed all these beautiful talks we have had this month. I really needed them to soften my hard edges right now. And the theme for this week from the Centers for Spiritual Living is to question everything. So, my first question is, what does that have to do with wonder and awe? And you can probably tell that I am going to ask a ridiculous amount of questions this morning. So, you may want to have your paper and pencil ready just to capture anything that might resonate with you. So, to ask that question again, what does questioning everything have to do with awe and wonder? Well, I think when things start to feel rough, such as they already are, just 4 weeks into the new year, it's time to start asking questions, to expand into curiosity, to leave space for the divine to work in mysterious ways, and to wonder what will happen next. But I have to give you a safety warning first. Asking questions is not for the faint of heart. You know how they say you shouldn't ask a question if you don't want an answer? I used to have a boss who used to do that. The principal would get the teachers all excited. He'd ask us a question. We'd work really hard on a great answer, and then he would just do whatever he thought anyway. Well, then why did you ask? Right? So don't ask a question if you don't want an answer. And the other warning, and you already know this, is be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. In the fall, after my oral panels, we did some visioning as part of the onboarding for new ministers in the Center for Spiritual Living. And I have to tell you, that first question in visioning, what is Spirit's highest vision for my life? The answer that I got, oh, I have to tell you, I did not like it. I was like, nope, Spirit, take it back. I don't want it. That answer was so beyond me that I've been fighting with Spirit since September. Okay, but here's the thing. In anything that we're experiencing right now, if we're feeling uncomfortable, tense, awful, whatever it is, can I be aware enough to stop? Stop what I'm doing and ask questions. And here's the follow-up question. Am I brave enough to listen to the answers that come forth and to honor those answers? So here are some classic questions that could be very helpful if you're struggling in this moment. What is happening right now that's uncomfortable? Why is that uncomfortable? What would I like to be experiencing? What seems to be stopping me from having that experience? Does it have to be this way? And two of my favorite questions from A Course in Miracles: what am I making this mean? And is there another way I might see this? So I've had the great pleasure of getting Brene Brown's new book, Atlas of the Heart. She is an amazing social scientist, researcher. She's written about courage and shame, guilt, blame, vulnerability, the experience of life. Her research and the way she explains things is so rich and empowering. You can check out our podcasts on Spotify, The Dare to Lead, and there's other series, Between Us or Unlocking Us. Oh, so powerful. But this book is amazing because she's had hundreds of thousands of interviews with people, and she's realizing that as human beings, we don't have a lot of vocabulary or understanding around our emotions and our experiences. So she cataloged different emotions we might experience. And instead of arranging them in the book like a glossary in alphabetical order, she arranged them like an atlas, a map. She categorized them and called each chapter places we go when. And then there's a category, and then here's the arena of these related emotions and experiences. And two of them really caught my attention. The first one is places we go when things are uncertain or too much. Wow. Doesn't that just characterize the start of this year? Well, it does for me. And the emotions or experiences we might have when it's uncertain or too much are things like stress, overwhelm, anxiety, worry, avoidance, excitement, dread, fear, and vulnerability. Oh, ow. But another chapter says places we go when it's beyond us. And these emotions or experiences include awe, wonder, confusion, curiosity, interest, and surprise. I know which one I would like to experience. So, how do I shift myself from stress, overwhelm, worry, fear into awe, wonder, curiosity, interest? Well, I can realize that when I feel things are too uncertain and too much, I can know that it's beyond me. And think about that phrase when people say it's beyond me. Usually it's kind of sassy and dismissive. Someone asks you a question, you say, "Pff, it's beyond me." But what if we back that up and say that a different way with humility and grace and an openness to say, yeah, it's beyond me. It's an entirely different posture. And it gives me the permission to not have all the answers and to stay curious and open and to wonder what will happen next. It's like I'm watching Netflix and there's only 3 episodes left in the whole series. And I think, wow, how are the writers going to tie up all these loose ends? But I know they will. I wonder what will happen next. Or that saying, it all works out in the end. And if it hasn't worked out, it's not the end. So instead of locking down, can I open up? Because then I can see something in another way. I can see beyond, over the hill, around the corner, into the deep and mystical, through time, connecting with the infinite warehouse of possibilities, that divine guidance that Lisa read about, to know that all the answers are right here and now. I have access within. So when things are uncertain or too much, I can surrender to the fact that it's beyond me, but not with resignation, rather with curiosity, to connect with the divine and start questioning everything that seems limiting in my life, just like Susan sang about. So let's do a little case study here and question how we may be feeling just 4 weeks into the new year now that the honeymoon has worn off. Let's set the stage. January really is a natural time to look backward at the last 12 months with reflection and to look forward into the new year. It's even what I asked us all to do the last Sunday of 2021. So, yes, it's a common thing to do right now. And of course, we all know hope springs eternal in the human breast. We get our hopes up really high each new year. Have you ever thought about how much we pin on January 1st? We pin a lot on the turn of the year. Oh, this year will be better than last. And we make our New Year's resolutions that typically start to fall apart just about now. You want a parking spot at the gym? Start going in February. And before you know it, we have a few difficult experiences that happen, and the honeymoon is over. The new year has let us down again. It's what I call the New Year's syndrome. Ow. So let's question this experience because I think our society has some pernicious mental traps right at this time of year. Here's my first question. Why is it that January 1st is this magical turning point, a hard line in the sand, some marker to the universe to suddenly change? As if the infinite power of the universe says, "Oh, it's January 1st, time to make some magic." May I just humbly suggest that a year in time is an arbitrary unit to the infinite, right? And that statistically speaking, January 1st is no more or less special than any other date. Is it more or less special than February 1st? Your birthday? Happy birthday, Carol Helms. It was her birthday this weekend. Or March 21st? Is that more special? It's almost like you're filling up your gas tank and you've got the pump on auto pump and it clicks off on a round number like $28 and you think, oh wow, it landed on $28 on the nose. Well, to tell you the truth, $28 on the nose is no more or less statistically possible than any other number. We just like it more. And that's how January 1st is. We just like it more. We charge it up with all this meaning. In fact, have you ever woken up really excited on your birthday? And you think, I'm going to feel a year older. Something magical is going to happen when you're 16, you're 21, you're 50. And the day comes and it goes. And it's just, meh, it's another day. Well, that's because each day is just another day. And that's not to be dismissive or nihilistic or from our cast of characters from Winnie the Pooh. I am not trying to be Eeyore, but rather Tigger in this moment. Because let's reframe that. Each day is another day. It's so empowering that we can reconnect with potential and hope and great things, that any day is a great day to turn a corner, to start something new, to do what makes our hearts sing. In fact, this would be the perfect time for a quote from The Power of Now from our friend Eckhart Tolle. He writes, "There is nothing you can ever do or attain that will get you closer to freedom than it is at this moment. This may be hard to grasp for a mind accustomed to thinking that everything worthwhile is in the future. Nor can anything that you ever did or that was done to you in the past prevent you from saying yes to what is and taking your attention deeply into the now. You cannot do this in the future. You do it now or not at all." So let me ask another question. What am I making this time frame mean? Some would say time doesn't exist. One of my favorite authors, Douglas Adams, says, time is an illusion, lunchtime doubly so. And in the infinite, that is true. What is time in the infinite? But for us humans with finite bodies living in the time space continuum, time can be really helpful. It helped us to all show up on time and do this beautiful service together. And it can certainly motivate me to make a change by a certain date because Lord knows I love me my SMART goals, to have something specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. That can fuel me up to get her done. But sometimes time can be a trap. These dates, these deadlines, these cutoffs, these gotta habits can be a limitation, a false belief. So we need to question, is this time frame doing more harm than good? Is it cutting me off from the infinite? Is it stressing me out? Is it making me want to give up or lock down instead of staying open to divine right order that happens in its own time? Do I have the courage to allow spirit to unfold in ways that are greater than anything I could have engineered? So, what does a new year really mean? Literally, it means 365 days. And whatever I am experiencing now is precisely a result of my previous actions and beliefs and thoughts. January doesn't happen out of a void, it out of nowhere without context. So I need to question, is this thought, this time frame, the thing I'm doing right now, is it empowering me or limiting me? And when I answer that question, then I know what to do. I can win either way, no matter what the answer is. If it's empowering me, then I relish that time frame and get her done. If it's limiting me, then I open up. I let it go and open up to the possibilities. Huh. Wow. See, all that asking questions has opened up for me. It's a win win when I ask questions. And this is the cure for the New Year's syndrome, to realize the mental traps and games and limitations I make for myself as I box myself in and create my own struggle. So, can I see this new year, this new month, this current experience in another way? Hmm, that's the challenge. And every time I do, I expand my spiritual and emotional intelligence. I learn to trust the process here. I can consciously evolve as I wonder what will happen next, as I connect with divine right order. And this practice fosters the courage for me not only to ask the questions, but to honor the answers, to live on the pioneering edge of myself without constraint or judgment, to break free of false limitations. And when I am feeling that life is uncertain or just too much, I can honestly say it's beyond me. And that's okay because all the answers are in the divine, should I but have the courage to ask the question. So I'd like to close with some Ernest Holmes from his book, A New Design for Living. He wrote this about a year before he transitioned, and it has all these beautiful little vignettes, much like Living the Science of Mind. It's a very powerful book, and he does remind us of this thought, and he does use the word man. It was that time period, so women feel included as all humankind here. He writes, The creative power of the universe is at a focal point in the conscious mind of man. At the level of man, man is a co creator with God. The creative factor within man is ceaseless in its activity, which man cannot deny without denying the flow of life itself through him. The creative ability that resides within man's thought may be used as he sees fit at any time. He may design any kind of life that he desires to experience. So, what do you desire to experience? Where would you like to go this year? And if I stay open to asking the questions and hearing the answers, guided by spirit, I know that wherever I do end up going, it will truly be beyond me. Namaste. So let's take a moment for prayer. In this moment, in this place, in this sacred space between us all that we have created together, I recognize the presence of the one loving source, of the all that is, the love in action expressing as you, as me, as we, as this beloved community. And I know as we share the journey, we are with each other in the finite and in the infinite, in the hard times and the good times, the times when we can be in the room together and the times when we need to take a break. As we're healing and as we're thriving together, all of it is the divine showing up, just waiting to be known all over again. And so connecting with the infinite, I claim for each person a profound opening that when things get too uncertain or too much or overwhelming, that we stop and we ask questions and connect with the infinite possibilities and the answers that are within. That we breathe into those answers, into expanding and living in new and unprecedented ways, remembering the truth of our being and having the courage to try something new, to expand, to allow spirit to guide us into a new expression. And knowing that all is in divine right order, regardless of seeming appearance, I know that we are divinely guided and blessed in every moment, and that this sacred time together has replenished our souls to go back out into the world, doing whatever is ours to do in a spirit-driven way. We are informed and led by grace. And so I give thanks for this message from Spirit, the message in the prayers and the music and the reading and the talking and the sharing, in the people and in the presence. I am so grateful. I'm grateful for this teaching, this philosophy, this faith, this way of life that is science of mind. I am grateful for this beloved community that is the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living and all the ways that we support each other to thrive and live our best life. And so knowing that all is in divine right order and each person is absolutely touched and blessed, I let it go and let it be. And join me in saying or typing in the chat, and so it is. Amen.